The Batman is a film that absolutely blew my socks off. I made a video about this film a few months ago talking about how the official rating of it was something that I thought would hinder the movie. Well, it's safe to say that I was completely and utterly wrong about that. Director Matt Reeves took this character and movie in a direction that I don't even think the diehard Batman fan saw coming. This fresh adaptation of a young Bruce Wayne that wears his emotions on the surface is a sight that I never thought I needed to see. He doesn't explicitly speak about his pain with words. It's conveyed through the brilliant acting by Robert Pattinson and his excellent directorial vision from Matt Reeves. Bruce's eyes tell a story, and being able to convey that through silence, it's simply excellent. I can probably count on one hand how many times I actually saw Bruce Wayne out of his costume though. Usually I would have seen that as a bad thing, because there would be no balance between these two different characters functioning in one body, but I didn't. It's actually executed to a T, to be fair. Bruce donning the cape and cowl for about 90 minutes of the film allowed for a more focused plot, which is uniquely assembled by the talented people behind this movie. And I'm going to say it turns out to be a masterpiece. Die-hard and even casual Batman fans would expect to know that he's a detective. He solves crimes. And in every live action adaptation that we've seen, even in the Nolan trilogy, that aspect of the character is merely hinted at and it's never really explored. But in this Reeves adaptation, it's properly explored, and that's just a testament to how good of a writer Matt Reeves is and how good Robert Pattinson is in the movie. You don't even have to like superhero movies to go out and enjoy this film. Lovers of mystery and crime-solving media will fall in love with this movie. I can guarantee that. Unless you're weird. Then if you're weird, then you won't like this movie. But if you're not weird and you're perfectly normal and you love these genres, then yeah, you will think this movie is brilliant. Any sane person would. Every clue left by the Riddler, every cipher that he tasks our protagonist to solve, leaves us, the audience, on the edge of our seats. I also found myself actively participating in these riddles, trying to figure out, the answer to them. The first act of the movie, though, is kind of slow. A little too slow for my liking. I don't mind slow burn movies because my favorite show is Peaky Blinders, and as far as I'm concerned, that is a slow burn. But the first maybe 45 minutes, even hour of the movie was just getting a bit too slow for me. The second act uses the first act as a stepping stone to raise the stakes, and it involves the audience with more riddles, character development, and the world-class scene between Batman and Penguin, that car chase scene. It's excellent. In turn, the second act sets up what was a truly stressful and satisfying third act. Just speaking about it puts this giant goddamn nerd smile on my face. God damn it, man. It truly had me on the edge of my seat, that third act. Not for any big explosive spectacle like Endgame, Infinity War, or quite frankly, most Marvel movies are. But, for a seriously high stakes situation for our protagonists that makes us genuinely worried for them, which in turn shows how well developed the characters are, seeing as how we care for their safety in this third act. I've hinted at this before in previous videos, but I am a huge fan of cinematography. It's the very first thing I look for in a film before anything else. I don't usually deep dive into who the cinematographers are, but Craig Fraser and his excellent work on the film changed that for me. We're told as an audience that Gotham is dark, right? But the broody and beautiful dark cinematography accentuates that fact in this movie. It brings the city to life, almost like a character in a way. It characterizes Gotham just through the cinematography. And the way that it can make me get lost in the mystery of this town, it's just, I think it's the best looking film I've seen in quite a long time, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Another thing that really jumped out at me in this film was the absolute necessity that was placed around each and every character. I've already stated how good of a job Pattinson has done in making Bruce Wayne and of course Batman his own. But what about the supporting cast members? The supporting cast member that everyone was looking at was Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, and oh my god, she is superb. And I'm not talking about her being drop dead gorgeous, because that's quite literally obvious. She's stunning, but her acting, it's breathtaking. I mean, she makes Catwoman her own. She makes it her own character, and she truly puts herself in that environment of what Selena Kyle is. And it's been a long time since we've seen a good Catwoman. Anne Hathaway was decent. Like, she did a decent job, but she wasn't mind blowing like Michelle Pfeiffer was back in the day. And even then, this younger generation won't exactly remember that, and I'm part of that. I only just went back and watched those movies. But Zoe Kravitz has really surprised me, because I did not think she could go this far, and she really has surprised me. And not only in terms of making Catwoman her own character, no, but she makes Bruce Wayne and Batman a better character. When Batman is around her, he eases. He's not as tense and vengeful and rageful as he is as Batman. He's calmer. And there's that sense of calm can only be brought out by the excellent acting from both of them. A lot of people will criticize DC movies for not being funny or being too serious. Well, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, for one, he's unrecognizable. I would have never thought that's Colin Farrell. Brilliant makeup work. But his portrayal as the Penguin by itself is the comedic part of the movie. He is just he's hilarious. He is a cartoon character. He is a cartoon character. It's it it's amazing. Jeffrey Wright as Gordon, simply put, he's really good in the movie. I feel like he does his job. For me, my Gordon will always be Gary Oldman, but Jeffrey Wright just pushed it up there, close enough to be better than Gary Oldman, but not quite for me. John Turturro as Falcone. Falcone might just be one of my favorite villains ever now. I really like Falcone, but John Turturro made him such a mafia mob boss type thing. And I like John Turturro. I think he's a great actor, and I know the Transformers movies, may have changed some people's opinions on that. Touching on finally Paul Dano as Riddler, he is unhinged. He is psychotic. He is a great villain. Paul Dano, hats off to you, man. This movie was simply an excellent movie, and even if you're not the biggest superhero fan, I do recommend you go and watch this movie, because you might not view it as a superhero movie, and you might not enjoy it as a superhero movie. You'll enjoy it as a dark, noir detective movie that just has a flying bat in it. Hope you guys did enjoy this slightly longer review. I had a lot to get off my chest. But yeah, see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.